And we're live, Brandon.
What is up, everybody? Sorry for the late start again. I know I thought this was behind us by now, but we had a unexpected meeting that occurred late tonight. I was originally supposed to be debating a communist at 8 o'clock tonight, which I was really looking forward to, but that got moved to Friday. And instead, we're doing the usual. We're hanging out here, giving you the latest and the crazy stuff going on in the world. So recently, in the past few hours, it turns out that Ukraine attacked Russia with rockets from the U.S. for the first time. This is being reported by the New York Post and several other outlets. Here, so I'm going to share the screen right here. And dude, what do you think about this? I mean, it's like a week ago, literally, that Putin said he was open to peace talks. Now we're sending rockets to Ukraine that they're using for the first time. So let's see. Kiev has used U.S. weapons inside Russia just days after President Biden approved the tactic for defending Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, officials say. So what the hell? I mean, this is just we're trying to push this thing as far as it could go, and just keep feeding the military-industrial complex, or I mean, is it as simple as that, or what's the tactic here from what you're seeing?
Peace sells, but who's buying? The business of war.
I mean, the people
aren't buying peace.
Maybe the people aren't buying peace.
I mean, they have no say on this.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's too logical to think that the people will be the ones to say who has control over this or not. But I know you're saying it's because of the military-industrial complex.
I mean, weapons like food, they go stale. You need to rotate them out.
Right.
If there's no war in a long time, you have an arsenal that hasn't been tested, and you need to put it to a test, and then you need to make more stuff so these people get paid.
I mean, isn't it hilarious that we hear all this shit about, like, I saw an article the other day that said, oh yeah, Canada trying to limit how much people are able to drive for their vacations to lower climate change, but yeah, we're perfectly fine with just blowing shit up, like, just because we need to get rid of excess weapons.
That's a sad reality, Brandon. There's nothing we can do about it.
No, bullshit. There is a lot we could do about it.
What can we do about it?
I'll say it till the end of time. There's 535 congressional seats. There's 400 million people in the world. At least half of them are extremely pissed off about what's going on. So why can't 535 people out of the 400 million who are upset with the way things are run for Congress? And then we can move mountains.
You know, the population of India?
Yeah, it was 1.7 billion.
All right. You know how many people play in a soccer team?
What is it? 9 are on the field and 14 are on the roster?
11 on the field.
Okay. And 15 on the roster?
Okay, listen. They can't put a football team together.
India?
Yeah, India. So that's why we can't
put... Well, India's a fucking disaster.
Yeah, but they can't put it. I mean, they have enough guys to have a decent soccer team,
right?
By numbers,
yeah,
and we have enough people to run this fucking government by numbers. So it is what it is.
You're telling me there's not 535 competent, capable people who could get in here and be in Congress, so we don't have swamp creatures and running everything?
I think if there's 500 competent people, they're probably in the private world making money and doing their thing.
Yeah, and if they're around the age of 60, made a couple mil and they're doing great, the kids are out of the house, they're wondering what the next chapter is. Why not defend fucking America?
Because you see what they put those people through.
Yeah, because there's only a few of them. Like, I know, how many would you say non-swamp creatures are in Congress right now?
Like people that I 100% really All right. There we go.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Were we ever gone?
Yeah, because you took us out of the screen.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, they need to remain there so they can hear us.
Yeah, okay. I meant to remove the article. Gotcha.
Yeah, so
That's funny.
So yeah, I know someone tripped over the plug. That was Brandon. But he's trying his hardest.
I'll own it. We're multitasking here, but we are back and better than ever. So as we were saying,
well, we need to say hi to the chat. 95 people live right now.
This is good for 10 o'clock at night. And again, if you're just tuning in, I was supposed to be debating a communist tonight, and I was really looking forward to that. We talked about Unusual Suspects before, but we had our monthly meeting that was tonight. It was originally going to be tomorrow, but it ended up being tonight. So had to schedule the communist debate for Friday. So we have that to look forward to. Plan on absolutely obliterating them. So should be about 8 p.m. sharp on Friday that I'm going to debate this communist guy named Infrared. And no, as we were saying, I'm under the belief that out of the 400 million people in the United States, there's 535 capable, competent people who are pissed off, who are patriotic, that want to do what's best for America, that aren't part of the swamp. And you say there's 3 non-swamp creatures in Congress right now.
Yeah.
And you say what? Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah.
Who else? Is Holly a swamp creature?
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe 2.
He's a great fucking actor if he's not.
Maybe I can vouch for 2 non-swamp creatures.
What's the tell?
Huh?
What's the tell if they are or not?
They're ballsy. They don't give a crap. Did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene grilling my boy Anthony Fauci?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the best television of the year.
What about what's his name?
Did you see him grilling? Like,
yeah,
she dug into him. She
made him fake cry because he's not
I
actually capable of feelings and actually crying, but like she made him fake cry.
Yeah, and then Macy, he's just amazing. Such a
the debt clock. How can you beat that?
You can't beat that.
But who else? You said 3.
I know. I take one away.
2 out of 535 non-swamp creatures.
You named 3 non-swamp creatures.
So I think I'm gonna say that Holly's not a swamp creature. I mean, I'm that's me being optimistic.
What percent are you on him not being a swamp creature?
Like 51.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like when he speaks, it's amazing. You know,
right.
he commands the room. He always says the exact right things and says it in the best way possible. But you know, like there's not a lot of follow through there.
How about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yeah, I don't think she's part of the swamp because I mean, like the more they attack somebody, the more less likely they are to be in the swamp.
All right. And Macy, you know what Macy's doing is really smart.
What?
He realized that most things they get stopped or passed at the rule committee.
Right.
So he took it over.
Took over his the committees are the most important thing.
He took
to a degree.
Took over the rule committee.
The committee of rules
of making rules in Congress. So he's stopping a bunch of things. Oh, he's very smart. He's a very smart guy, very self-contained, super reasonable.
Yeah.
Like Marjorie, I love her, but it's not for everyone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean she's a little too extreme on some things. And right after we close up on, I'm gonna just ask one more question to you about this Ukraine-Russia thing. But then we're gonna transition to speaking of Congress, Republicans just did something absolutely idiotic that we're gonna viciously fight about. We stumbled upon this right before this started. So closing thoughts. We have there's a map of how much Ukraine's gotten taken. I mean, most people are familiar with that. How do you think that plays out? I'm hearing all kinds of crazy stories. Like they're pulling old people and kids and, you know, disabled people to be in the front lines. So that means they've just been battered and they have no fighting age men left. How's this play out? And then, but how did I forget this? So
that's the main story. You forgot the main story about this.
Yeah. NATO.
Why don't you pull it up?
I'm pulling it up now. Because I saw this other one like 2 seconds ago. But so it came out yesterday on the super low that NATO
on the super low.
Yeah.
How do you do this on the super low?
That's it's the craziest story, but one source is talking about it. So here we go. I'm pulling it up now. Wait in suspense. So NATO's planning to send 300,000 U.S. troops to the front line. Where's my presentation?
Don't take it out. Don't take us out. Okay, I do it. Don't worry.
It's not that one.
All right.
You got me questioning myself now because of the last one.
But yeah, this is not short of amazing.
So stop sharing. Well, if I hit stop
Yeah,
sharing,
so
will
stop.
that, okay.
Yeah, stop sharing. All
All right,
right,
boom,
and
there
then
we
do
go.
it, and then do
Now
it
we're
again.
operational.
Okay, we're operational. But while Brandon is multitasking
Fumbles around.
and fumbles around,
boom, here we go. Locked
there we
and
go.
loaded. All right, so revealed NATO plan to get U.S. troops to the front lines to fight Russia. Alliance prepares for rapid deployment of American soldiers amid fears Moscow's plotting major war with Europe. No, Moscow's not playing major war with Europe. They were ready for peace talks 1 week ago, and then Biden signed off on America using U.S. rockets to launch at Russia. Like, in what world are we not escalating this?
Should we? Okay, let's go back to the beginning. You asked me a question before this news, and this confirms what I think.
What?
They're gonna run this to the ground.
Yeah.
Until the last person is not dead, they're gonna keep on sending weapons there.
I know, but like what? Like when is enough? Like, are they that arrogant? They think they could just like bring it right to the edge and then stop it right when they want to before nukes are fired?
They won't stop it even after nukes are fired.
I can't process that.
Brandon, listen.
What?
Like people that were in World War One didn't know World War One was going on until it was over.
Yeah,
people
but we knew that we didn't have
we right now are in World War Three.
Yeah, obviously, but we have weapons that can destroy the entire world 8 times. Like that wasn't the case in World War One.
It doesn't matter. They had weapons that could destroy it once. You can't destroy it twice.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so what's the thought process in somebody who wants to take it that far?
They don't give a shit. They don't care.
No, but that doesn't make sense to me. Like, what's the point of anything if everything around you is blown up? Like, I mean, or is that the way that they want to reduce the population by 90%?
Brandon, we're completely irrelevant and unnecessary in their eyes. Now they have AI, they have automation, they can run farms without anyone touching them.
Nice shit? Like, what do you do with the world if you're part of the 10% who's left who hides in the bunker won't let the nukes go off and then
you hang out with the 10%?
Yeah, but like once you go outside, everything's gonna be all screwed up because of the nukes.
Well, but they're smart. They're probably figuring out well, but I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. Like literally, the news came out on Tuesday of last week that he was ready for peace treaties.
Yeah, then the next day, Biden like makes this like exception where they could start firing U.S. made rockets at them.
And I don't see any signs of stopping. I don't think anyone can win out of this. I don't think Russia. They're known, like if you read history, they're known for fighting till the last man.
Yeah, they'll sacrifice their entire population.
They don't give a shit either.
Yeah, they throw bodies at it.
So they will throw enough bodies until it makes no sense anymore. Before the war started, there was they were trying to cool down the situation. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they literally sent I think it was Tony Blair or another ex-prime minister of the UK to tell the Ukrainians to not stop the war.
Yeah.
So they did it once, they're going to do it again, and they're going to run this to the freaking ground, and there's going to be a new Vietnam. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
than that.
Unless, who gets elected.
Yeah.
Because then if he gets elected, shit stops immediately.
Yeah, like immediately. The next day.
The next day. He said it. He's going to stop this immediately.
It's gonna be hilarious.
All right.
I mean, if we can hold off from start like launching nukes until then.
But if that doesn't happen, I guarantee you we're gonna have troops there in less than a year. Like
I mean, yeah, they're saying it.
No, I can guarantee you that we're gonna have American troops there in less than a year, and they're gonna be there for 20 years, 100%. I don't think they will let it escalate until nuclear, but they will just draw it out because that's what they do.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like here's a map here showing the fucking marching order plans. Like they're acting like Russia's gonna like poses a threat to these surrounding countries. Like they can't even make their way through Ukraine effortlessly. Or there's a question too. I mean, Douglas McGregor makes the argument that Russia's not using its full force right now against Ukraine.
But
what do you think about that? Do you think they're going as hard as they can, or do you think they're going easy on
them? Okay, on the grand scheme of things, they're going easy. I mean, on the small scale, they're going easy because they could have done much more.
Yeah.
On the big scheme of things,
right?
They're drawing it out. So they're not fighting for a year. They're not fighting for 2 years. They're fighting for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, have you seen what here, keep talking while I pull up Russia demographics.
But the thing is this NATO thing is insane. Okay, let's play the scenario out. Okay, everything goes according to their plan.
Right.
Right. They beat Russia into oblivion. What happens after that?
Like Ukraine?
Yeah. Let's say everything goes well. Okay, they have the astounding victory for the free Ukrainian people that can't even elect the president. By the way, they win.
Right.
What happens next?
If Ukraine wins, they rebuild Ukraine with BlackRock.
All right. And but what you're gonna have an angry Russia?
Well, that's potentially the scarier situation, is that if like Ukraine was actually beating them, and Putin's in a situation where he starts losing and is vulnerable, that's like, I think that's like just as likely as of a nuclear situation as us attacking them.
The Russians are not known for giving up. So
no, they're not gonna give up.
Like the thing is, if you go to a little kid, okay, you go with that. Can you pull up the map again?
Hold on, I wanted to show you this demographic thing.
But so if you go with
this is Russia's demographics as of January 2024. Look at, there's nobody left who's fighting aged, and Ukraine's looks just as bad. But like, this is what they're willing to do to their population.
Dude, fighting age is being able to hold a rifle.
No, fighting age is being in peak physical condition if need be.
That's when things are going according to plan. But after when shit hits the fan, like fighting age is anyone can hold a rifle. That's fighting age.
Yeah, but still, look at even the like, this is pathetic.
It is pathetic.
Like, Russia's over.
But the thing is, they might be reversing these numbers.
What do you mean they're reversing those numbers? This number's being whittled away at.
Brandon,
if like the older people get thrown in?
Yeah. They throw the old people in. They put strict measures on having kids.
Like forcing them to have kids.
They've done it before.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Start fucking.
Like this whole thing reactivated the Russian economy like never before.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's the narrative, but I think they like. Yeah, like our sanctions weren't as effective as we thought.
Okay, it didn't reactivate the Russian. You're right, but it did put them in a situation where they had to decouple from the world economy.
Yeah, and they've been able to get by while not having access to the dollar.
Like if you crash in a plane in the middle of an island, you start by getting by, and then you get better and better and better and better. You build a tent, this and that and this and that. So they're moving the wheels to becoming an independent. I don't think anything good will come out of this.
No, and I mean, China couldn't have survived what Russia's doing right now with these sanctions, because like Russia is in a unique position where they're a commodity based economy. So they have all the oil and all the food and grains that they'll need. So they can, and that's the bare essentials of like, that's why China would shrivel up and die if they got caught from the world economy. They don't have enough oil and enough agriculture to sustain themselves, what Russia does. So like Russia can run like a super nationalist economy if need be, which they're basically doing right now, like without the US. And there's even times where they had to like ship physical shipments of gold like via airplane to other places to pay for things. They're selling oil to places like China and India at a huge discount to keep money coming in, and they have an abundant amount of oil. So I mean, they're lucky in that regard that they're able to do this, but I mean I don't think they want to be in this situation.
Can I tell you what the primary mistake here was? And I think the thing that's if it doesn't go nuclear, because it's the worst case scenario, the primary mistake that they've been doing for years is trying to fight wars with dollars.
America,
the dollar is not a weapon.
It is a weapon, but they overestimated how powerful it is in this situation.
It's not a bullet is a weapon, a rocket is a weapon, a tank is a weapon. You can push people around with the dollar a little bit. You can push people around. You can make them suffer. Are you
familiar with the SWIFT?
What do you mean the
SWIFT system?
The transfer system?
Yeah, payment system.
I am familiar with it.
So that's like oxygen. I mean, I guess Russia's proving otherwise, but the thought was that's like oxygen. If you're cut off from the SWIFT, then you're just going to shrivel up and die. I mean, which I believe happened to Venezuela when they started acting up. We cut them off from the SWIFT, and they their economy imploded. They're supposed to be one of the richest countries in the world, and it's a disaster now.
But Brandon, listen to me. When shit really hits the fan, money means nothing. Nothing. You need somewhere to sleep. You need somewhere to shit, and you need something to eat. And you need weapons
and food.
But
Yeah,
people
what gets that money?
But if it runs for long enough, people figure their things out.
But
they figure it out.
I'm saying though, Russia is able to do that because they have the commodities that they need for that. You know, not every place would be in that type of situation. Like Iran, like they have abundant oil, so they could, to some degree, get by with sanctions. Like not so much agriculture, but they have oil. A place like, I don't know, I guess China's a good example. You know, China doesn't have enough agriculture, enough oil to sustain itself if it was isolated from the rest of the world, but Russia does.
I just don't think, because you and I, we depend on the dollar. So just throw expensive missiles at them, throw troops, but don't f around with the dollar. It's just not a weapon. The dollar is not a weapon. It can be used to dissuade and persuade, but it's not a weapon. The dollar is not a weapon.
Dude, you have your fair share of experience in with South American currencies, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when the dollar rises to South American currencies? They get weaker.
Yeah, they get weaker.
Right? And so what happens to governments, businesses, people who owe dollar-denominated debt? It takes more pesos or whatever currencies you're using down there to pay off that dollar-denominated debt. So that's devastating.
Yeah, but once you default, it's freestyle.
Yeah, but like once you default, you also have a lower credit rating, so you can't. So when next time you go to borrow from the IMF, it's like 2x or 3x the rates.
Well, but after that, after you cross the Rubicon and you get to that point, it's freestyle, and people still figure it out. Argentina was on default for decades. Venezuela's been
and it's a disaster there.
It is a disaster, but people still eat and they still survive.
Not all of them.
I mean, not all of them, but most of them, they figure it out. That when things get bad enough, people start figuring things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why there's like a giant black market for dollars in Argentina, and there's like a limit on how much you could currency swaps you could do at like in a legal way. But then there's a giant black market where you could pay a huge premium to get dollars in Argentina.
Yeah. It's called the blue dollar, and because they have limits to how many dollars you can buy.
Yeah.
But Argentinians, they still travel, they still eat, they still do other things, and they've been defaulted for decades.
So guys, real quick, what do you think is going to happen with this Russia thing? Do you think nukes will be fired within the next 2 years, even in a small way, or do you think that we're gonna get this thing to start de-escalating, or is it going to take until Trump gets in? Final thoughts, and then we're going to move on to what we're going to viciously fight about.
Trump needs to get in there and just.
Yeah, I mean, and this, amongst like many other things, should be the thing that gets him across the finish line. But all right, moving on. So this caught my attention right as we were about to hop on, and this is something that we always go back and forth about. So here we go. Senate Republicans block bill protecting against access to contraception. Now, give me your opening thoughts while I pull this up.
Good.
Why?
Because we need more American babies.
Need more American babies.
Yes, we do. We need more present dads. We need more women to be happy. And we need less of this selfish culture of just fucking anyone that comes your way, spending 12 hours at your job as a lady, and having all these terrible contraception methods.
So this bill included protections for emergency contraception pills such as Plan B. So, like, I mean, I know where you stand with abortion. We've debated that at length, but like, I mean, Plan B. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Why?
Incentives.
Yeah, but yeah, I know we want more kids, but we also need better family units and stronger family units. And why do we want to force people to bring kids in the world if they're going to be a bad family, bad parents?
That Brandon, is the argument that the left uses.
No, it's not.
It is.
The argument they use is my body, my choice. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but how about if you're not willing to make babies with someone, don't have sex with them.
That's not realistic.
How? I don't care if it's realistic or not, but if people have consequences for their actions, they start acting differently, and that happens with drugs. that happens with crime. We took all the consequences from crime, especially in California. We took all the consequences away, and you see the hellhole that it is. So consequences, they need to be in place. And having a baby and having to take care of them, I don't care if it's Plan B. I don't care if it's abortion. People need to make better decisions. And if they don't make,
so you're against condoms? Are you against condoms?
I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I think that's the most reasonable method of doing it.
With condoms, or just the way God intended?
I think condoms are the most reasonable way of doing it, because it's but I'm like spiritually and I think what this country needs, I'm against it.
But so I mean, crime's pretty bad in this country, right?
Yeah.
Homelessness is pretty bad.
But is the worst thing is people,
a broken home?
No, the worst thing is people not being fulfilled. Like, we came here for
agreed.
But we came here for and that's why things go so weird and get so dark, and people have motivations that we don't understand, because people have too much money and they have too much time in general.
No, that's not the majority of people.
Dude, you understand how poor people were before the 1800s?
Yeah, I know most of the world is poorer than America. Like, even like our poorest people here are richer than most people in the world, but still. Like, if we want to have a better culture and a stronger culture again, we can't be having people who don't want to have kids who get knocked up by accident. Like, having kids that they
how would them being responsible?
Yeah, but most people aren't responsible.
All right, but then they need to pay for the actions. So
yeah, but we're gonna end up paying for the actions, because like, where does welfare come from? Us.
So
you want to stop getting ripped off by welfare?
So like, I've seen interviews. I'm not saying it's most people, but there's a big chunk of people that don't think that they think that shoplifting is a victimless crime. You've seen the raids. They, especially like in San Francisco, got so bad that all shops are closing.
Yeah, you know, that's socialist shit.
Because there's a bunch of people that think that shoplifting is not bad. It's they're big corporations and we're just, doing our thing. Yeah, I don't know.
They won't miss it, they say. No, yeah, and that's because of culture, though. That's because they know that's what, like, there's so many people who are in that type of desperate situation. They know that's what people want to hear, and that's what will get them in office. But the reason there's so many people who are in that situation is largely because of broken homes where there's not a strong father figure. There's not enough money in the household to have a normal life, and people end up being, and they're in broken homes, they end up being more prone to be a criminal.
Yes.
Yeah. So you think Plan B being legal leads to more broken homes or less broken homes?
In the beginning, more.
Yeah, like more or less fatherless homes. So if it's illegal, it leads to more or less fatherless homes?
It depends.
On
a bunch of things. Are we gonna keep on funding fathers that don't want to work? Dude,
we shouldn't. But there's so many of them. That's what they want to hear. And the politicians say any fucking thing that people want to hear, that the most people want to hear. That's why Scumbag Marx got so popular, because there's a bunch of lazy people out there who wanted to hear the things that he said, because he was also lazy.
I just think just promiscuous, non-reproductive sex is just not productive. It's not productive for society. It's not productive for the people engaged in it. And I've been responsible my whole life, and
but the reason there's so much unintentional sex that isn't derived towards creating a family is because largely people feel they can't afford a family right now, but they still want to have sex. And 50 years ago you could afford to have a family just by working a normal job, but right now it's not the case, largely because of how irresponsible our government's been by enabling the welfare state. Think
about the people that explored the West back in the gold rush. Okay.
Yeah.
They had nothing. Literally, they had 2 horses and whatever you call those things.
Yeah, but they're richer than us because the moment we're born right now, we're $90,000 in debt.
All right.
Because of how much debt America's in.
Well, why don't we fix on focusing? And we won't be able to fix our debt problem if our population keeps on, going down. We can't.
Yeah, but we won't be able to fix it either if we keep increasing the welfare state. We won't be able to fix it either if we keep increasing the welfare state.
I don't know.
It's over $1 trillion a year.
I just think people need to do more productive things.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, raising chickens. They need to get more busy.
Yeah, but then there's people who are so busy they feel like they don't have time for a family, and they still somehow can't afford to do the bare minimum.
Well, then you don't deserve to be on the gene pool anyways.
Yeah, man, I think that's like a real short-sighted way to look at it. Like I'd look at what's best for the most amount of people, and I think what's best for the most amount of people is to have the lowest amount of criminals possible and the lowest amount of one-parent households possible. And I think that, I definitely don't think that we should treat abortion or contraceptives like a frivolous thing. I think it should be looked down upon, looked at as like your last resort. But I think it's cruel and evil to make it illegal and inaccessible.
Well, I mean, I'm just playing the counter argument here because I don't think anything can be illegal.
Yeah, no government intervention in the free market.
I think no. I mean, like, I'm not even going the libertarian route. I think we have proven that nothing can be made legal. Like, you have a maximum security prison somewhere, and you get drugs in there.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna make free people? How are we gonna make things illegal for free people? Like, people are always gonna find a way.
Yeah, let's start doing it on the black market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and that gets even more dangerous because you start doing all the crazy medieval shit to do abortions. So we don't want that.
So this doesn't matter. People will figure it out anyways.
Yeah, but in a gruesome, horrific way.
Maybe they learn a lesson.
No, I think it needs to be cultural. Where, like, I think the biggest reason that liberals try to take it so far and say like proudly forever say that, like, oh yeah, I got 3 abortions, like, what you gonna do about it, which is retarded. But I think the reason that type of person exists is because on the other side, the type of person who says never okay under any circumstances exists. Like, I don't think one extreme would exist if the other didn't exist.
I don't know. I think they should try it out. They should
try out the ban.
Yeah, they should try it out. See what happens.
The fatherless homes will go from 40% to 70%.
We don't know that. Do you know that?
No, nothing's a certainty.
Okay, good. We've been trying it with the thing unbanned. Like, everyone can do it. Let's ban it for a little bit. They tried with prohibition.
What could go wrong?
They tried with prohibition. It didn't work. We went back to a drawing board. Let's try it with this, and then go back to a drawing board.
Cartels selling Plan B.
Yeah. We're gonna have that'd be the most boring drug dealer on the planet.
Speaking of cartels, this crazy Mexican socialist Jewish woman president just got elected, and you were talking a whole bunch about that before with a lot of stuff that I didn't know. So hit me. What do you got with that?
All right,
you're a South America specialist.
I'm South America just because that's. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, just because I'm from South America, I'm a specialist, but yeah. I am kind of a specialist.
Yeah.
Jeez. Bad news for Mexico and Mexican people. Then again, I don't feel bad about this because this is democracy and this is how it works. If you lie to enough people at the same time.
Was it a fair election though?
Look, this is still pretty fringe. Where I've been reading, they want to go on a recount.
Really? It wasn't that close though, right?
Cheating has gotten better with time. It doesn't even have to be.
I'll do a share screen. I'll do a share screen.
All right, let's get this on the screen.
Here's the numbers.
So her name is Claudia.
Wow, she smoked them. It wasn't even close.
Sheinbaum, but they killed 37 candidates on the way.
It was 2 women running against each other?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
Are they like more woke than us?
They are.
How?
But the thing is that the American society is more equal and more like people. The thing is that you have the thinking elites there that are so far away from the actual population that this type of thing happens. Like, how are you going to explain to me? I don't know what the percentage is, but I think it must be 80% or more the amount of Catholics you have in Mexico.
Let's see. And only 50% of people voted, by the way. What percent of Mexico is Catholic? 70% Mexico's Catholic.
70% is Catholic.
78. Yep.
78%. So it's around 80%. 70% is Catholic. Machismo is a big thing in Mexico. You know,
Machismo.
Yeah.
What's that?
Chauvinism. You know, male chauvinism.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so how does this happen?
Because this is.
I mean, was it the globalists?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that
don't be shy. Unpack it.
Well, I'm going to unpack it.
All right.
The thing is that democracy as it stands now is not really a democracy.
Hell no. Just like capitalism isn't capitalism.
No, it doesn't do anything for the free market. Imagine that 50% of the Mexican population didn't even go vote.
Yeah,
50%,
42 to be exact.
42% didn't even freaking go vote.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
And she got 59% of yeah, she got
50 something, or she got 59% of the 58% who voted.
Yeah, so we're talking about like 30%, less than 30% of people that actually
almost even 25. Yeah, 25 to 30% of the people.
Yeah, 25 to 30% actually voted for her. So what do you expect? You know, and this is not the first time. I think voting in general in countries that from the third world where they have open voting that you can vote or not vote. Like here, they have very low turnouts. They have a grip on the media that is just as strong as here. So you have a low population that actually votes. You have a low population that actually understands the issues.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of desperate people there because the last guy was one of the worst presidents Mexico ever had.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
AMLO. Oh, I can't.
AMLO?
Yeah. Like I don't want to say too much because I still want to go to Mexico and have holidays.
You still trust it with this chick?
I mean, I trust it enough. I mean, Puerto Vallarta is really nice and Cancun is really nice.
Oh, come on. We got Miami right here. If you're gonna be timid about this one, it's gonna be a quick segment.
It's gonna be a quick segment. Well,
if you're gonna be timid,
she was raised by communists.
Right.
Her grandparents were in the illegal Communist Party, unofficial illegal Communist Party of Mexico. They aided Trotsky after he fled Russia.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So like people watching right here, like we talked about this yesterday when you were preparing, that is different lines of communists. You know, you have Stalinist, Leninist, and then you have Trotskyists.
Yeah.
Who are actually the worst type of communists.
Why?
They're the craziest one.
Trotskyists?
Trotskyists are the worst type of, because they live in a constant revolution, a constant bloody revolution. It's just they're the craziest ones.
They're psychos.
Oh, they're psychopaths.
So
that was
she has this philosophy, or it's likely that she might have this philosophy.
I mean, it's ingrained. The thing
could be a reason why.
The thing is that the things they evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You go from a very like masculine type of total control communism, and then it gets tainted or it gets enhanced by a progressive ideology.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. Like she's a product of this evolution of communism into whatever she's doing. What was I gonna say? So she was the governor of Mexico City.
Yep.
And she kept Mexico City closed way after they ordered to reopen Mexico.
Really?
Big into the whole gender ideology.
Ugh.
She's a self-described feminist. So she hits all the boxes. And you know, you want to hear something really funny?
What?
That she is Jewish, pro-Palestinian.
What?
And
she's like Soros.
Yeah, she's Jewish pro-Palestinian. And our boy, Nayib Bukele, he's Palestinian pro-Israel.
Wow.
So
that's based.
So that tells you what's going on. That's what tells you what's going on there in South America. This makes no sense. I don't like the people have been talking about a recount because there's been some irregularities. That's what they call it now. I don't think that the actual recount is going to go down. And if it does go down, they have such control because she not only won the presidency, her party called Morena, they won a big part of parliament or Congress there. So I think there's no way out of it. And I think it was Joe Rogan that said yesterday that we're literally gonna have a crack house next to us. So I don't know how, like, this is not gonna be good. This is probably one of the times that Mexico needs the most order, because the cartels are out of control. They're literally killing
We
tourists.
just invade it and fucking clean house
I don't
with drones.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but
All right. Well, speaking of elections and scandals and incompetent presidents, I think that the establishment is finally putting Biden out to pasture, because there's this Wall Street Journal article that everybody's talking about where it says, it says behind the scenes, Biden is showing that he's not capable. So here we go. Which I don't know why it feels need to say behind the scenes. Yeah, behind closed doors. Ready?
are they president shopping?
I think they are, and this leads me to say, are they so freaked out by it? So yeah, behind closed doors, Biden shows signs of slipping. So I mean, he showed major signs of slipping outside of closed doors. So what the fuck is he doing behind closed doors?
And this is the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it's not good.
Yeah, no, it means he's done.
He's done.
Yeah. So I heard somebody talking the other day that if he's down by more than 3 points within the next month or two, they're going to start like seriously trying to get him out.
Look,
and I heard Alex Jones and Cruz saying the other day that their theory is that he's going to get, yeeted, and they're going to blame it on Trump extremists, and then, throw in somebody like whatever, Michelle Obama, and say, yeah, see, this is why Trump can't get in, because like his extremists do crazy things like this.
I tried really hard to not engage with the communists, and in my heart as a Christian, I tried to not make fun of this.
Yeah,
because first of all, he is still the president of the United States. He is. Sorry, but that's his office.
You're being too nice.
No, I'm not being too nice. He's still the president. He is an elderly man, and I think this is not even a discussion. I think even though like this might cost election or whatever, getting this poor man out, whatever he did in the past.
Fuck him.
The thing is, Brandon, he's already far gone. He's too far gone.
Yeah.
Like I can judge the Biden from the 80s, from the 90s, from the early 2000s, and it will talk trash for days.
Yeah, he was a good speaker.
And he was an idiot the whole time. But the guy we had the last 4 years, like I feel bad making fun of him, because I think these people,
that's karma though.
These people are so mean spirited to prop him up there.
That's karma though. Like all the evil he's done over the course of his life, that's what happens. Now he's being humiliated. Like when he finally gets the highest office he's probably wanted his whole life, he's in his worst state. So I think that's what you get if you're an evil piece of shit.
I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's evil, and I think you can tell the evil that he's done by who he's surrounded with, by his family, the people are.
Yeah, by how his kids turned out.
By how his kids turned out.
Even his dog is fucked up. His dog always attacks people. Like, what does that say about you as somebody who's taking care of pets?
I know. Like, horrible human being.
Yeah.
But I always draw the line at kids and the elderly. Like, once you're not all there, and once you don't have consent, because I don't think he can even have consent anymore.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, there's all the rumors about how what was it, certain presidents like Woodrow Wilson, they say that his wife was like making decisions for like the latter half of his presidency because he was all fucked up.
Yeah, I think he had a stroke.
Yeah.
And after the stroke, he never made it back to health. But this is it worries me a lot. I don't think it's funny at all.
Which part?
Him having the nuclear codes.
I don't think he's the one deciding on anything. But
at the same time, we were talking about Russia earlier.
Yeah.
And Ukraine. Like, America is known for stepping in. Like, even if you don't like the decisions that are made, we're known for stepping in, sitting people down, and trying to look for a way to work out. It speaks bad about Americans that he's the president.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's shameful, and I can't fathom how they're making him run again. Like,
no, I don't think they want him to. I think for some reason he's being stubborn about it.
It just doesn't. I can't grasp why.
But you don't think the establishment wants him to run, though, do you? Like, my read on it is that they want him to step out, but he's not doing it.
You think he wants to step down and they're not doing it?
No, I think that they want him to step down, but he's not stepping down. So they're getting agitated with it.
The thing is that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes
to skip over Kamala when they take him out. They know Kamala's not electable, but then people would say it's racist.
And at the same time, can they make him stand down?
No. I mean, there's unconventional ways of making them stand down, but no,
Brandon, come on.
No, I'm speaking like how they're probably thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is crazy.
Will he be the not nominee candidate? Let's say by the end of the summer, by September.
By September, that's very late.
I know
that is very late. How do you run a presidential campaign from September to November?
Might be an advantage in some ways.
That he steps down.
Like, say, I don't know, for whatever reason, he goes away. And they throw in Newsom. Are they at a better place or not? If Biden's down 3 points, goes away.
I don't agree with Newsom's whole existence.
No,
I don't agree with anything that he said, anything that he's done. But he is gifted.
Yeah,
he's one hell of a speaker. He can talk, and his suits are nice.
Yeah,
and he can talk.
Yeah, he's on it.
Yeah, he's on it. Dishonest, but on it.
No, but he's amazing at lying and twisting the truth.
And then I've been hearing rumors and people naming Michelle Obama.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure they would love to pair them together, but then, like, you know, they would have to go around Kamala. But then people say, ugh, that they'll make her the deal being a Supreme Court justice if what's her name? That lady steps down who they're trying to pressure to step down. That Supreme Court justice, you know, the ones they keep mentioning her stepping down.
No, not at all.
Conservative lady. Whatever her name is.
But what I'm saying here, I think if he steps down, if he doesn't, the damage he's done to the Democratic Party is so. I don't think it can be fixed, at least in 2 or 3 election cycles. They could win the election, but the way they split people that used to support them, I think this Israel-Palestine was such a big split in their voting base, and they don't really have anyone in the next generation to like prop up.
Newsom?
But I mean, Newsom is a guy, but what, 2 terms? And he's gonna, you know, who's after Newsom?
I'm sure they'll find probably fucking AOC if like we keep going down the socialist route.
Jesus,
I know people keep getting dumber and dumber.
Imagine AOC as president. That'd be rich.
Yeah, it'd be like some Venezuela shit where she tries to do UBI, but then you know, you gotta wonder if what they're saying about AI is gonna actually happen, where it makes producing things so cheap that UBI is actually feasible. But like her answer is like, oh yeah, tax the corporations and then like let people live off of that, which is fucking retarded.
We're in for very weird times, Brandon.
Yeah, it's the 4th turn, and Sonia Sotomayor, by the way, is the one I was talking about, who people are talking about stepping down. So
why, is she sick?
No, it's weird. They keep like running articles saying like, oh, if she steps down, like so and so could replace her. So they keep talking about if this crazy scenario played out that Kamala replaces her to get Kamala off the ticket, and then they put Newsom Obama on there.
For what I've seen, I mean, she's a Democrat, right?
Who? Sotomayor?
Yeah.
No, she's a Republican.
So,
which this would like make it a tighter majority. No, yeah, they
will make
still have the majority.
No, it will make it a majority.
It would make it a tie, no?
Yeah.
Because right now it's Alito's Republican, Thomas Republican, Roberts I think is Democrat, Sotomayor's Republican. I think we have like was it 3 to I think there's only 2 or 3 Democrats on the bench.
All right.
Out of the 7.
And I think I'm more worried about this.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about this than the presidential election.
The Supreme Court?
100%.
Yeah, because it's for life.
That's my number one priority. I think it's just what they've done in Brazil by having control of the court, what they've done in Ukraine by having control of the court, what they've done in any country. They can rule the whole land from there.
Okay, it's 6-3 Republicans to Democrats.
Yeah. And the other thing is that if that doesn't go down like that, they can pack the court. Like, there's been theories about packing the court. They never gone through it.
You mean like expanding it?
Yeah, they can. That they can.
What, Congress can do it?
Yeah.
Is that unconstitutional though?
I don't know the technical part of it,
Mhm.
but it's not out of the question. And once they get control of that, like it's a wrap forever.
Yeah.
Forever until like it's a.
I mean, you would think that we would have a bit more influence with Republicans being 6-3, but it hasn't felt like it's done shit.
They've done a lot. They've done a lot.
Roe v. Wade?
Well, they did Roe v. Wade and a bunch of smaller cases.
Well, the Trump thing, like making sure Trump's on the ballot, saying that was, yeah.
See, because the thing is, I mean, they're politicians. They have political careers and they have political leanings, and obviously they're appointed by politicians.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that's holding the country together. So I don't know if they grab out because Congress, that's a wrap. It's a wrap, Brandon. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, and because in theory, how long we've been having a majority there?
Trump elected 3 or appointed 3 of them, so I think it's just
no. I'm talking about Congress.
Oh, like 2 years, barely.
2 years.
Yeah, but the Senate doesn't have a Republican majority,
so
it's kind of like neutral right now. But under Trump's first 2 years, it was a majority for both, and they didn't do shit.
They didn't do anything.
No,
because they were too busy criticizing Trump.
Yeah, it's because they're swamp creatures. They're not actually like Republicans the way the normal people are.
Normal people.
Yeah, non-swamp creatures.
Non-swamp Republicans of that variety. I don't know. I'm really worried about this. Like, I wouldn't mind him stepping down. I think him stepping down and Kamala Harris taking over, it would be better than them changing anything about the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I agree. We don't want to come on the Supreme Court. All right, in closing, let's see if there's any good comments before we wrap up and see if there's any questions. After everything we ran through, guys, what do you got? Anything you're wondering about? Robert's Republican. Is Roberts a Republican?
Who's Roberts?
The whatchamacallit?
Oh, the Supreme Court?
Yeah, like the main guy.
I think he is.
I thought he was a Democrat.
And
Sotomayor's an absolute leftist lunatic.
War Picks Gathering. Brandon, question from an OG follower and supporter.
That's my boy right there. What do you think of this? What's this?
What is this?
What do you think comes of this? Can you elaborate on that? And thanks for watching.
Well, come on. What do you think? We're talking about the Biden stepping down. That's when the question.
Yeah, no, I think that something is going to happen that puts somebody different in the election against Trump. I don't think they're going to go out there with Biden. Humberto, love your perspectives.
See, people support it.
Draft trans men too. Draft trans men. Actually, no, we can't have trans men in the army. I'm in favor of getting all the gay shit out of the army. We have to have generals that like aren't politicians, though.
I think we should take politics out of the army.
Yeah, like the generals are way too political.
They're way too political. Like, we have so many
fucking enemy of the country.
We have so many public services because the military, people don't think about it, but it is a public service. I'm not down either right or left in the military or police forces or sanitation services or the post, like anything. Those are services that all Americans, like, it doesn't matter where they lean, they pay for it and they use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should literally take politics out of that. The decisions made for the military, they're political, obviously, but I don't know. Like it goes deeper. I think more than politics, it's a cultural thing, you know, because until you're faced with war or you're faced with, you know, like an existential threat, you start appreciating the people you want defending your country. And I think it's been years that we just been doing this senseless wars, and we lost thousands of Americans and killed people all over the planet. Um, and when the wars don't make sense, the military doesn't make sense either. You know how it's structured.
Yeah, right. The military can't like it can't exist if there's not a war going on, which is unfortunate. It's like a body that if it's not working out, that it like starts to deteriorate.
I mean, I think there should be a military all the time, you know,
Yeah,
because this is a big part of having a state.
No, and I'm saying that's a part of the problem with the military-industrial complex. Like, in addition to having to keep the companies that provide the weapons, you know, churning and burning, you have to be buying shit from them. You have to have the soldiers, like, in some degree of, like, active duty, like, preparation at least, like, you know, like, at least going abroad and, like, going through the motions of it so that, like, they stay, like, some degree on point. Like, you can't just have them, like...
Yeah, you can't have them sitting down.
Basic training shit and domestically.
The thing is that we think about soldiers and we stop thinking about warriors. Okay. And listen to me, like
now we have social justice warriors.
Yeah, we have social justice, but the thing is, fighting wars that are not fair or are not important will bring down the morale of the military, you know.
Yeah.
So all these senseless wars, because I don't think we can escape war. I think war is in human nature. And but I think if we keep on throwing them around to, you know, like do militaristic exercises in Europe, I don't know. And I think war is looming and it's coming, and we might be underprepared for it. Like an actual war, like an existential threatening war is coming.
Well, we at least have the gift of having two giant oceans between us, so you know we're not going to have fucking Mexico or Canada invading us anytime soon. At least not through a military standpoint. We're having them invade us through a immigration standpoint, which could turn into a like domestic warfare type of thing. But who knows? A topic for another day. Guys, love you. Thank you for watching. We did not plan on starting this late, and again, I'm debating a communist this Friday. It was supposed to be tonight, but we had a last minute meeting late at night. And if you want to see me debate this communist, tune in at 9 or 8 o'clock on Friday.
8 o'clock on Friday. It's gonna be Brandon versus Infrared. I'm gonna be here on the 1 and 2s off camera. I'm gonna be reading the chat. We're gonna be running polls.
It's gonna be popping. What else would you rather do on a Friday night than watch a free market economic versus Stalinist communist argument debate?
If you guys behave properly, we might have a question from the audience.
I would not have it any other way. I'd want to do that. So yeah, let's bank on it.
So let's keep it orderly, and see you at 8 p.m.
Keep it nice and chaotic.
And remember to Minnect Brandon and myself. Link in description.
Yep. Minnect us any questions that your heart desires. Again, love you all. Thank you for watching. We're all patriots here who love America, and we're keep fighting the good fight. I will see you on Friday. Peace.
Peace. And